Yendi and MPG. Go on, Yendi. Hey.
Alright. Come na IT. Uncard. Hey, yeah. Alright, so.
Whatever you do, forget everything, remember this. God without man is still God.
That is it.
But you see, man without God, nothing. Zero, zilch, nada, vapor, this. That's it.
Have a great weekend, everyone. See ya.
I know anyway, the rum, the fun, mom's not here, but we there, she a go run in the day. I lick it one like one of them Sunday. Full of image, a cat and craft it, and we call one a kick like them belly. Zip it up there, 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 zip it up there. Pulling yourself. Do the dancer, me a jump up, in a bad mind. Vex you me the dancing worse. Me no want no respect from none of them. The party a shit now, how you need it? Over the tickers when you remember she in a top shit. Bring where, one me alone. If you wanna leave with us, if you wanna
Jamaica. Make we do the right thing. Make we live good today for a better tomorrow. Talk it out. Don't fight it out. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6:30.
Jamaicans are turning their attention from the political arena to track and field as our athletes are set to spring into action at the World Athletics Championships being held in Tokyo, Japan from September 13 through 21. It starts tonight, Jamaica time. In fact, it has started already with a walk race final now. With Jamaican male sprinters once again firmly in the medal chase for the 100 meters, to the changing of the guard in female sprinting, to Jamaica's ever-improving performances on the field, it promises to be an exciting championships. Now here with me to discuss this, my colleague here at CVM TV, Head of Sports, Jordan Fort, the knowledgeable former athlete and track and field analyst, Tishana McGowan, and attorney at law and the track and field enthusiast, Andre Kaur. Gentlemen and lady, welcome. Jordan, let's start with you first. Now, for the first time in several years, there's a genuine sense of excitement about these championships, especially with the re-emergence of Jamaican male sprinting.
Yeah, there is, and I can understand that because, of course, the 100 meters is the blue ribbon event. That's what we call it in athletics. It's not to say that the outstanding performances from Jamaican athletes outside of the men's 100 meters should be discounted or overlooked. Remember what happened at the Olympics last year when the majority of medals were coming from the field events.
Four of the six, actually.
And the only gold medal came in the discus throw. It was an unexpected gold medal from Roger Stoner, who we know is now in the process of transferring his allegiance to Turkey. And we'll talk about the men's discus some more because we actually have somebody stepping up to fill those boots. But I agree with you though, yes, the excitement is back up to fever pitch because Kishane Thompson showed what he could do on the world stage last year by getting silver and missing out on gold by this much.
Yeah.
And now we're expecting both Thompson and Oblique Seville will carry massive hopes for Jamaica.
Yeah. Tishana McGowan, it's been a long time, 10 years since Jamaica last won a global 100-meter medal since Usain Bolt won in 2015. For this year, though, your thoughts on what we should expect? not hearing from Trishana, let's go then to Andre Kaur.
So thanks for having me, Gio. In terms of what we should expect for the men's 100, we are in a good place this year in the men's 100. We've now seen that Oblique Civil has sort of come into his own. He's been there or thereabouts for a few years now. When we went to the World Championships in Eugene, we had a pretty young team, and we've now seen how the youngsters are now coming into their own. Kishane Thompson, he made a big mark when he entered the world stage, and in his first international final last year, he performed quite well. Now he has the experience competing at that stage. We expect that he will carry that experience forward into the World Championships. And as I said, Oblique has now seemed to overcome, whatever demons would plague him when he gets to a final. So we do have high hopes, and I think for the first time, as you say, in 10 years, we do see ourselves with the possibility of coming home with 2, or might we even dare say 3 medals, because even Akeem Blake, he's there. He's a Diamond League champion from last year. So
he's 11th in the world this year as well.
Right. So he also has some amount of ability when it comes on to competing in the big final. So we are filled with expectation for them.
Yeah, even sprint legend Usain Bolt say he's expecting good things from all 3 of them. But let's take a quick break. When we come back, we want to talk about the female side of things. Lots of subplots going on right there. And we also have to talk about the field events, given that over 4 top athletes have switched allegiance from Jamaica. So stay with us here on Lead Story as we're talking about the World Championships, which begins today in Tokyo, Japan. Stay with us.
Glenmore High is the venue. The date is Saturday, September 13. The Champions Cup holders take the field in the feature encounter at 3:30 p.m. Standing in their way is a Denby High team eager to prove its mettle. Live and exclusive coverage will be on CVM TV, CVMTV.com, and CVM TV on YouTube. But before that, CVM TV's exclusive coverage rolls on with 2 other Clarendon rivals facing off. At 1 p.m, it will be reigning the Costa Cup champions Garden Maceo looking to turn back the challenge of Veer Technical. It's live and exclusive. It's a schoolboy football action on CVM TV. Saturday, September 13 from Glenmore High. Garden Maceo versus Veer Technical at 1 p.m, followed by Glenmore versus Denby at 3:30 p.m.
Millions of people are attacked by harmful mouth bacteria. The root cause of bad breath, gum problems, cavities, plaque, and tartar. That's why Colgate combined the best science and technology in Colgate Total. Unlike others, its superior formula fights bacteria and creates a powerful protective barrier for up to 24 hours to prevent them from coming back. Take control of your oral health with Colgate Total.
Welcome back to Lead Story here on CVM TV. I'm Giovanni. Dennis, I want to invite into the conversation now Trishana McGowan, former athlete and track and field analyst. So many subplots on the female sprinting side of things. Trishana, Shelley Ann's swan song, we have the emergence of the Clayton twin. Your thoughts on Jamaica's female sprinters at the World Championships?
I think that, well, first and foremost, good evening to the entire viewership of CVM TV and to yourself, Giovanni. I think that we're blessed in the sense of, having female sprinters turning over. Shelley Ann Fraser at 38 years old is about to pass the baton to the Clayton twin. Also, Sharika Jackson at 31 years old, of course, have much more to give. But we are so rich in talent that here we are with a woman at 38 years old, an icon. She has done almost everything. She has gotten medals at, I think, all her major championships except 2, since the last 18 years. Sharika Jackson running in the 400 meters, getting the medal. Medal in the 200 meters, running 21 seconds, 10:65 in the women's 100 meters. Now we have Tia and Tina, despite one not running in an individual event, running 10:82, one running 10:81. I think that we are heading again in another good direction. Big up to the coaches, Stephen Francis, Andre Wellington, now guiding Shelley and Fraser Price. And I don't think we have much more to complain about. I have just minor concerns other than the Clayton twins and Shericka Jackson when Shelley and Fraser Price should walk away. And if Elaine Thompson era should not get back to full fitness, you start looking for the others to step up. But I think that we're heading in the right direction with our women's 100 meters.
Well, as you speak about women's 100 meters, let's take a look at the team. We did a split screen there just now looking at the teams for the 100 meters and the 200 meters. But let's just bring it full screen and get some comments on this. So in the 100 meter women, Tina Clayton, Shelley and Fraser Price, Shericka Jackson, Jordan Ford.
Yeah, strong team. Those are the three who finished 1, 2, 3 at the national championships. Tina Clayton emerging, really announcing herself on the senior stage. Remember, she's a two-time world under-20 100 meter champion, But her sister Tia essentially surpassed her initially and went to the Olympics last year. And, for the past couple of years since they've been out of high school, it's been Tia who's been ahead. Now Tina has caught up and gone to 10:81 in winning the national title. She is a serious contender. Of course, we're going to be talking about the fact that in the 100 meters now, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden has looked out of this world
this season.
And the Olympic, she's the fastest woman in the world at 10:65. And the Olympic champion, Julian Alfred, is just unbelievable when it comes to major finals, major championship races. And when she matches up against Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, she brings her A game. So it's a hard nut to crack when you talk about the women's 100 meters. For Tina Clayton, her first major senior global championship, but she is also a big-time performer.
We can't write off Shelley and Fraser Price when it comes down to the big events, though, can we, Andre Kaur? We saw when she had an injury one year, I think it was her toe that she had a broken toe and she came back and still got a bronze medal, I believe. We can never write her off.
Right, that was in the 2016 Olympic finals. She's a big time performer. She's been getting medals since almost day one. 3 Olympic golds, 10 world championships. So you can't count her out. And I think the 100 meters is the women's 100 meter is probably going to be one of the races of the entire championships because, as you said, there are so many subplots. There is a rivalry between Melissa Jefferson-Wooden and Julian Alfred. This is Shelley's last one song, and we know Shelley's mindset. Once she's there, she's going home with something, so you can't count her out. You can't count out a veteran. You can't count out Shericka Jackson, who has run 10:65 and is with a camp who knows how to prepare their athletes to peak when it matters most. Tina Clayton is now at the age where Shelley had started to now run 10:7s, so we don't know what MVP has up their sleeve for her. Another factor which some people may not be counting in is the defending champion. She's a 10:65 runner. She hasn't had the season that she wanted because of injury, but she's there. So
Sha'Carri Richardson.
When it comes to Sha'Carri Richardson, yeah. So when it comes to the 100-meter finals, there's so many things that could happen. It's going to be one of the races that it's on my must-see list.
Let's go a little bit deeper into this then, because we have this team and we're going to include now Tia Clayton for the 4x100 meter relay. That's a top team from Jamaica, but the team from the USA is also a top team as well, and the one from England as well, the United Kingdom. They're the world leaders so far this year, Jordan.
Yeah, the 4x1 is I don't want to jump the gun because a lot will, of course, be gleaned from the 100 meters. We'll see not only the form of the athletes, which we've seen throughout the year, but we'll also see the fitness. Remember, Shericka Jackson is set to double. Remember what happened last year at the Paris Olympics? She was down to do both as well and eventually had to withdraw from both. So we'll see again how she goes, how Shelley and Fraser Price goes through the rounds. Remember, we're talking about, obviously, Swan Song. What will happen? She had to pull out of the Paris Olympics last year again with an injury. So we'll have to also watch those subplots, Gio, before we even jump ahead to the 4x1 If everybody gets there healthy for Jamaica, of course we have a fantastic crack team, but we have to watch what happens in the 100 first.
Yeah, very, very, very well indeed. Let's take another break. When we come back, we do want to talk some field events as well as a little bit more sprinting, because really and truly that's Jamaica's thing. Yeah. Let's stay with us here on Lead Story. We'll be right back. We're talking the World Championships, which begins today in Tokyo, Japan.
Jamaica is paving the way to becoming a republic, or future or choice. The time by the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs is
6:45.
At Hawkeye, we work hard to develop state-of-the-art security solutions like our new Total Connect smart home automation system that gives you 24/7 access to control your appliances, lights, cameras, and doors using your smartphone, tablet, or PC. As the most trusted electronic security company in Jamaica, Hawkeye has the fastest response times to get to you when you need us most. Trust Hawkeye's Total Connect. Hawkeye, securing what matters most.
Glenmore High is the venue. The date is Saturday, September 13. The Champions Cup holders take the field in the feature encounter at 3:30 p.m. Standing in their way is a Denby High team, eager to prove its mettle. Live and exclusive coverage will be on CVM TV, CVMTV.com, and CVM TV on YouTube. But before that, CVM TV's exclusive coverage rolls on with two other Clarendon rivals facing off. At 1 p.m., it will be reigning the Costa Cup champions Giovanni looking to turn back the challenge of Veer Technical. It's live and exclusive. It's a schoolboy football action on CVM TV. Saturday, September 13 from Glenmore High. Garvin Maceo versus Veer Technical at 1 p.m. followed by Glenmore versus Denby at 3:30 p.m.
Welcome back to Lead Story here on CVM TV. We're shifting gears a little bit today. We've been on a steady diet of politics for the past month or so, but the World Championships begins today, and me and Jordan were talking before the break. Our first event that Jamaica is on the field, it begins at 7 o'clock. In which event?
Women's discus throw. Samantha Hall will be competing for Jamaica. In the build-up to these championships, Trishana, there has been multiple Jamaican field athletes. You know, they switched allegiance to Turkey. These are athletes who are expecting to medal. We're talking Roger Stoner, the Olympic gold medalist. We're talking the men's long jump silver medalist Wayne Pinnock, shot put bronze medalist Rajendra Campbell, and world under-20 triple jump record holder Jaden Hibbert. Any psychological impact from their move, you think, and how that may impact the team?
I don't think it will impact the team. It just might fuel others to perform well for new buyers. I don't know. It's a business. And I think that, you know, the tough take of it is we simply do not have the cash to take care of not just our field athletes, but our athletes in general, in comparison to countries that can afford to. It's, of course, unfortunate that, you know, that is the situation we're faced with. Disappointed, of course, that they will no longer represent Jamaica. But I wish them well. I will look forward to them and look to support them, you know, whenever they start representing their new country. Our field athletes, like I said, I think that they're always, they always feel they have something to prove to the nation. And I think that fuels them. They want to, you know, always be a part of the conversation. And I think that last year at the Olympic Games, when they quote unquote saved us, they saved the day, you know, not just with the medals, but the massive performances in terms of the distances they threw and jumped. I think that we're now having the discussion because of that. And that's what they want. These field athletes, you know, always knocking at the door to say, yes, we are a part of the discussion. We should be a part of the discussion, not just for medals, but just also the performances. And then being a part of the makeup of the team and flying our Jamaica flag proudly. So I think that, you know, we will see Samantha Hall, you know, getting the action on the way. I'm really happy for her. She has been knocking at the door quite some time, and happy that she's now here to represent us in the women's event.
Let's take a look then at the the team for the field events. Now, we have for the triple jump, Jordan Scott, discus, Frederick Dakers, Ralford Mullings, Chad Wright. What do you make of that team, Andre Kaur?
Well, it's a solid team. It's a solid team. As you started out this segment by saying, quite a few of our star athletes, made the decision to switch allegiance, and we are disappointed that they couldn't continue representing Jamaica. We wish them best, and we wish them the best, and we understand. But there is an ancient idea that says nature abhors a vacuum. And what we've seen this year is that, in the light or in the face of those athletes leaving, other athletes have stepped up. So Ralford Mullings is now one of the leading discus throwers going into the World Championships, having beaten the world record holder twice this year, winning in the Diamond League as well, and setting a new national record in the discus. So we're looking forward to his performances. Jordan Scott has been jumping out of his skin in the triple jump. So he's another one that we are looking forward to see what he will do. Kerry McLeod now also has a chance to, prove himself. He was quite good on the NCAA circuit. He's been there on the international meets as well. Shanika Ricketts, she's a staple, she's a big time performer. So it's quite a solid field events team, and we're looking forward to see what their contribution will be to the final medal tally.
Okay, so having said that, we have just about 6 minutes to go. All of you have sent us your list of events to watch and your medal count. So let's start with you, Trishana McGowan. What are the key events to watch? From a Jamaican perspective.
I don't know. I don't like when you say, Trishana, what are the key events? What are my key events?
What are your key events? Yes, everybody has their own.
I'm looking forward to the women's 100 meters. I think that when you look at Melissa Jefferson just starting her season running 10.6, and that's the time she clocked in Jamaica at the Grand Slam. And she has been consistent in terms of her performances, winning, running fast. I'm excited to see, how she will manage the roads. And if she should get to that final, we see her getting there, barring injuries or anything unforeseen. Julian Alfredo, a Caribbean sister, went to St. Catherine High School here. So she's kind of like ours. Yes, I'm adopting her a little bit. And our 3 women, I'm excited to see how that field will do, not to discredit Dina Asher, who is also going to be in the mix, Shakiri, the defending champion. So we are in for a treat with this women's 100 meters. The next event I'm looking forward to, the women's 100 meter sprint hurdles. Let me tell you, you think the women's flat 100 will be hot? That event will have you on the edge of your seat. We have at least 4 competitors who can run 12.2 to 12.4, 12.4 and 12.3s. So including our Jamaican women and our defending champion, she is the defending champion in Danielle Williams. She will line up in that event alongside 3 other women. And I think of those 4 women for us that will represent 3 stand a chance of getting into the final, if everything should go well.
Hold a second right there, Trishana. Let me just quickly get from Andre now, because we're almost out of time, just about 4 minutes to go. For the 100 meters, you have some athletes, you have some male athletes that you say we should keep a close watch on. Andre Kaur.
For the men's 100, yes, for sure. So the Jamaicans, of course, Kishane and Oblique. And there's also a rivalry with the United States, a rivalry as old as track and field has been around. So we have to keep an eye on Noah. We have to keep an eye on Kenny Bednarik. So that 100-meter men's event is gonna be quite interesting to see how things pan out in the end. I'm seeing or wishing for a 1-2, but I do see 2 medals for us in that event. Absolutely.
You've listed as well the men's 200 meters as a key event for that you're watching as well. Why?
Well, if you watch the US trials, there was a push, a shove that was seen around the world. So there's some beef with the Americans in that event. Noah Lyles is trying to cement his status as one of the current best 200-meter runners. But I do have a dark horse in that event, and that's Brian LaBelle from Jamaica. And I think he has the potential to do something quite special. His coach, we know her mettle, Shaniki Osborne, and we know Brian LaBelle is, of a world championship caliber. He was a finalist in the under 20 200 meters a few years ago, so he's somewhat used to the big stage. He's in a good camp, and he's been running some really great time. So I think he can put something special, despite the storylines around the 200 meters that have really been focused around Letile Tibogo, Kenny Bednarik, and Noah Lyles since the start of the year.
Jordan Fort, you have an interesting list of events to watch. You even have the mixed 4x4 relay as an event to watch. Why?
Yeah, because I think over the years, us as Jamaican fans have there's been some angst amongst Jamaican fans. Why haven't we really put some more of our better athletes in the mixed 4x4? We've almost treated it like with scant regard, but obviously there's a little caveat where that is concerned, because it's not that the administrators don't want that, it is that individual coaches have their individual interests. And so the better 400-meter athletes for each individual coach, they want them concentrating on their individual 400 and not expending too much energy up front, because the mixed 4x4 is an opening event. And they don't want them to expend too much energy up front and then be tired for their individual 400. So I'm watching it to see who turns up in that mixed 4x4 for Jamaica.
Yeah, 4x100 for men?
Absolutely. Fascinating prospect there when we talk about the fact that we have obviously Kishane Thompson, Oblique Seville as two of the top fastest men in the world this year. But the question is, will Brian LaBelle be drafted in? Because he's one of the fastest men in the world over 100 meters this year. Didn't finish in the top, pulled up in the 100 at trials. And so the question is, does he get included? I mean, he also runs a 200. Do they change that dynamic? He got to the camp late apparently, or didn't get there at all. So the J3 is saying, do we put him in the 4x1?
Medal predictions, Jordan.
I say 10 medals for Jamaica.
10 medals for Jamaica. Shoshana McGowan, medal prediction.